I'll just quickly run outside. I got to get the clothes off the line.
Fine.
Sorry.
Yo, we are live. And I've got PJ with me, my trusty sidekick. How you going, PJ?
Yo. I'm good. Yourself, Michael?
And we have got Flatzoid joining us, but he's just outside taking his washing in.
He just ran just before I went live. There, I says, "Yo, boy, I'll be back in a sec. I've got to go and do the manly thing and take the washing." Yeah, he'll be back in a sec.
Have a look.
Yeah, in chat, do you want to know who's in? Or do you want me to read that chat?
You
I
can
think
go
in chat at the minute we haven't. Hold on, we've only got Jeff, yourself, and Debatable D so far. Flatzoid and just JP at the minute, unless I need to refresh. Let's refresh and see what happens.
I will just hang around till Flatzoid's back.
Hey, sorry guys.
Yo, Flatzoid.
Had to run outside quickly because it started raining.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining me on your night off.
It's good to be here. As you can see, I'm powered by the ESCOM behind me.
ESCOM. Wow.
Go on.
So, reason I've invited you on is everybody watches your streams and everybody hears you talking about load shedding, that you're talking about not having no power. Do you want to just explain for those who don't know, people who watch my channel who don't even watch your channel? And after you've explained that, can you plug your channel?
I think I need electricity to plug something.
What's power situation? What's load shedding?
It sucks, and I hear it's coming to you guys soon as well.
Yeah.
It's a schedule that's set up compared on how the power grid is with strain. So you have different levels of stages they put up, and what happens is if it gets worse, that they see, okay, we can't cope, then they put the stage up. And then the higher the stage, obviously, the longer you're off without power.
What do you mean, like they can't cope, like they can't produce enough electricity to power?
Yeah, to power everybody like they need to. Obviously, they were warned in 1994 already that they should do the. Wonder what happened with 1994 when ANC came into power, correct?
It's only like 29 years ago, you know.
They were already warned then to start doing infrastructure for the power. And instead of using the money for infrastructure, they stole it. I can put it that way, stole the money. They're still stealing the money today. So, now we can't keep up with the demand of supply. And the problem also that we have is there's been a lot of sabotage, because it's criminal organizations involved with everything.
Yeah, they're like pirates, aren't they? I think.
Mm-hmm.
So on a daily basis, how long are you without power?
It all depends on the stage. At least these last 2 days, we've been on stage 4, so it's fine. It's been like off for 2 hours, on for 4 hours, for 2 hours kind of thing. But when it's on stage 6, which is the highest at the moment, we off for 4 hours and then on again 2 hours and then off 4 hours kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which sucks. The time you're off.
And like your supermarkets, places of work, stuff like that. I know where you work, you're gonna have a generator, but everywhere's got to have a generator then.
Either on solar or generators.
What's most amount of hours that power can be off?
Well, it all depends. I mean, even like, because I'm in the bush, sometimes we have cable theft. Then you don't know when you're going to have power. I mean, I think some people have been without power for 2 days because they're trying to sort it out, just because of cable theft alone. You know what I mean? So it all depends.
So I'm just thinking, like, here in England, if it were to happen here in England, like supermarkets, but they ain't got generators. Do you know what I mean? Because whenever we have power.
And look, most of the things here, you either have to have a generator or you have to get yourself a good solar system, because if you're not going to be self-sufficient with power, you're going to suffer. And I mean, even where I work at the moment, we go through about 100 liters of diesel a week, just
Wow.
on diesel for the generators.
So,
Yeah.
you're not the burning coal or whatever, and you're not getting enough power, but then you're having to buy petrol and use loads of petrol. It's mental.
And the problem is that our rand is going so bad at the moment. The petrol price and diesel is hiked, and it's going up again end of the month apparently.
Yeah.
The same amount that just went up, and yeah, it's just costing more and more to keep businesses running. So there's been a lot of businesses that have actually closed down due to this ESCOM situation. I mean, and this was just came what straight after the stupid COVID nonsense.
Yeah. I just say to this Lord, on Tuesdays, you know we're not an element. It's Restream. Michael's Restream.
Discord, I invited you to FEC room in Element where I post link, mate.
Mocks it, PG. You got a license for them guns? I haven't got a license. I've actually got a lifetime firearms ban. So these guns.
You mean Rapsy Nesbit? Rapsy Nesbit.
I'm a lot chubbier than I used to be. I used to train, but I'm a lot chunkier. I used to be a bit more toned. But yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If you don't actually keep your exercises, you kind of lean away. I mean, I used to actually do bodybuilding as a competition at a stage. So you wouldn't really say it, but you can see it, but you can't really see it anymore. You understand? Because it kind of
my definition's
lean
gone.
down. Yeah, you lean down. After a while, you kind of lean down. You don't really. I do miss my six pack though. I do have a six pack now, but it's in the freezer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I've got a keg under my t-shirt.
This Laura, I dare say we'll see you in a couple of seconds.
But yeah, you say you have.
Yeah.
But you say you have something you want us to watch.
Yeah, I've got a documentary. I watched it a few months ago. It just popped up in my YouTube feed. It's a BBC documentary, but I'm gonna risk it.
Ooh,
I'm gonna risk it.
Why not?
Well, you're not monetized, so.
Well, this is it. Like, it should come under fair. Are you listening, YouTube? It should come under fair use. You know, if we're stopping and starting and we're covering it, you know, it's educational purposes. We're talking about a situation that one at guests on the show is facing on a daily basis, so I can't see a problem.
It's not like you're just rewatching the thing, you know. I mean, wow. I mean, the amount of times you do stop as well, Flats, and explain things. I just don't understand how they can say it's not fair use, you know.
Yeah, and like I said, unfortunately, they got the money for the good lawyers, so I can't fight it.
No,
that's it. That's it.
They just wave around the cash, I lose.
Yeah.
We'll just wait 5 minutes, see if disc comes in.
Yeah.
Stress, mate.
Are you coming in, disc? Gives a yes or no in chat, dude.
But speaking of the power as well, they're
How long
actually
we got?
trying. They try. Oh, we got till 11, so
Cool.
yeah. They got a new thing they're trying out in like Santon and Joburg and stuff, where they have it on a special grid app thing. If they see the person's using too much electricity, like they can just put the person's geyser or fridge off from their side. Saying, you're just using too much power. Let me switch it off.
Oh, why do you think they want all these like Wi-Fi connected fridges and freezers and washing machines and that? You know?
Exactly. That's so they can control you. Exactly. I mean, if you're dependent with everything on them, what you're gonna do? How much? I mean, look at the situation that most people are in. You're not able to afford to be self-sufficient.
No.
And if you want to go self-sufficient, it's very expensive. And they trying to impose taxes on being self-sufficient.
That just takes the whole point away from being self-sufficient, doesn't it?
I can see this lad, but I can't let him in because it says no video feed.
Huh?
So I don't know
what. That's crazy.
Always has trouble with this lad, doesn't he?
Yeah, like Shifty Eyes. He's smart meters that are trying to do this in USA. Yeah, I hear that they want to do all this kind of stuff all over the world now. Apparently, everybody's having some weird issues with electricity these
Well,
days.
they've been talking. I mean, it's been going on for ages now. Where they've been saying you've got to have a smart meter and forcing people to have one. I had one fitted because I ended up owing loads of money to gas company. Only way to pay it back was through a smart meter, so I had to have one fitted. Like, but they're not good for you. Like, they kick out some serious radiation. There were some mobile phones.
Mm-hmm.
I only have it turned on every now and again.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know the cost of living's going up, but my electric is there's something wrong. There's definitely something wrong. I can't owe that amount. You know,
Well,
the amount they're charging me now is just ridiculous
well,
amounts.
let's put it this way. I beginning of the year, I started with 300 rand a week on petrol and 100 rand on electricity. I'm sitting now with 600 rand a week on petrol and 300 rand a week on electricity. And sometimes I don't even make it through.
Wow, wow. This
What does
lord,
that
can you
tell you
talk?
guys?
I know it's just ridiculous. Can you talk, this lord?
Might
No,
check this, lad.
it says he's in, but I can't see no avatar or
No
I can't
camera.
You might have to do settings.
Yeah, you might have to
Just
allow your camera and allow your mic and all that. This lord, if
yeah,
you can hear.
go to that little sprocket on the bottom right, and then you can click it in and
But
put yourself.
back to fuel costs, like last year, like they went through the roof, didn't the PJ? And
Oh,
and then government's having to give money back. You know what I mean? So we kept getting like £300 payments every couple of months and that. You know what I mean? So what's point?
You
Why
guys
don't
are lucky.
government clamp down on energy tycoons? You know what I mean?
You guys are lucky because yeah, remember, ESCOM is a government-owned entity, so it's government. It's not a private sector. They're trying to push it as private. That's why all this nonsense. Why people are probably trying to
So
sabotage.
who's actually in charge of South Africa these days? Like, 'cause I don't keep up with news.
Criminals.
I know, like, but who's the guy who's president or whatever? Who's the guy in charge? Like,
Cyril Ramaphosa, he's the president, but I mean, who knows what the guy actually knows or acts on? I mean, it's a whole big circus spiel of a whole different type of people that do different things. So they all work together to try and show how stupid they are. Let's put it that way. I mean, like we're supposed to have budget cuts now for for the end of the year because they can't get to their deficit. I mean, I think we're sitting on a quarter of what we need for the deficit to be able to pay things to everything, and they just refuse to do budget cuts. They refuse.
I'm going to say indoctrinated
So it's yeah.
Paula. I'm just. They're all saying hi to you, Michael, and Flats and that. I'm just so. I'm hi. I'm
Hello.
hi for you guys. And Jamie Lee. Jamie C.
guys. But yeah, Jamie Sea Level, they do the first people to get smart meters. They made my mum get one, and I was like, "What, you had one put in?" And she was like, "Oh, they tell me, got to have it." And I was like, "You ain't got to have it, man.
See, I'm
Wait,
having a.
This is
Right.
what they do." Like,
wait until they make it mandatory.
Yeah, yeah.
That's going to be an issue when they start making it mandatory.
Yeah.
Yeah, where we are, we have electricity meters kind of thing, but they made them so they give in after a while. So almost, I think it's like more than half to three quarters of the people here in town meters are broken, so you can't go and put the power on yourself. You have to go and buy the power and send the token out to the electricity supplier for them to put it on. And a lot of the time, they just get pissed off when you ask them to put it on. So you never know if you're really going to have power or not, even after you paid for it.
see, they call them smart meters, so I can go online and top up. You know, just pay it online. But
It used to be that way.
9 times out of 10, when I go online to use it, there's something wrong with the website. You know
That's
what
what
I
I'm
mean?
saying.
It's like, so if you're without power and you can't, and then it's too late to go to the shop. You know what I mean? It's
And the problem here is
there's no
if we're busy
smart.
with load sharing and the power's out, you can't buy electricity because it works on the system.
Yeah.
So you can only go when the power's on. So as soon as you go buy the power when it's on, you hope the system's running online and you hope the people's going to load it for you. So you're really stuck in the middle. You're just really dependent on everything. So yeah, if it is possible to get self-sufficiency, I think this day and age is very important. But that's what the Bible says is going to happen in the end days, guys.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's it. It's true. We won't be able to buy
How
no
many
cent.
people? How many people is going to take the mark just so they can survive? Because then they can have electricity, they can have running
Medication,
water.
medication, that kind of stuff.
See, it's going to be a big test for people, isn't it? You're not going to be able to function in society, and I'm when you've got family and kids to look after, it's not going to be easy for some people to make that choice.
That's right.
It's
Exactly.
really going to be a test.
It's not called the Great Tribulation for nothing.
No, no. And we've been hearing a lot about this tribulation starting, haven't we?
Yeah.
Exactly. This was it. Okay, no one answers. In the private
Yeah,
chat.
yeah.
Well, we can see you Discord like you're trying to get in, but it's for some reason you're there's just your names appearing, but you're not. What was I gonna say? Oh, Jamie Sea Level. You're in the Midlands, UK. I'm Scottish, but I'm located in the Midlands as well.
He,
He had this problem last time he come in. So whatever
maybe you
problem,
should.
sorry, whatever problem it is, this lad you had last time. So you
Yeah,
managed to
you
sort
did
it out.
actually. You did have that problem last time.
Maybe you should ask him to
private
leave.
messaging because it keeps popping up and it does me.
Yeah, maybe ask him to leave and come back in. Maybe that'll help.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't own a TV license. I don't need one because I don't watch television.
I don't.
I haven't for years.
I've got a pile like that of threatening letters. Sometimes they'll come in big red envelopes. Do you know what I mean? You are under investigation. You've not got a TV license at this property, so now you're under investigation. It's like, wow.
Yeah, it's stupid. But I mean, what's the use of having a TV license if you don't watch TV? If you have TV and you watch TV, there's really nonsense anyway. So I don't see the reason for it. You only need a TV. You require a TV license to buy a TV if you want to, but there's ways around that. You can just buy it secondhand through someone else.
The stitch people up though, even people who don't genuinely need a TV license and don't watch TV. Once you've let them into your property, they stitch them up. They go to court and say, "Yeah, what do you know what I mean? Make it all up," and then next thing you've got a summons like.
Yeah, because if you want to buy a television brand new, you need a TV license.
But when you buy a TV though from a shop, they report you. They know as soon as you've bought a TV. Because last time I remember buying a TV, within 2 days I got a letter.
You do. If you buy a brand new telly, better go second hand, really, ain't you? But even if you go into like Argos and ask for a telly, they ask you straight away if you've got a TV license. Not that they'll stop you buying the telly if you say no, but it's just they ask you, don't they?
Glenn, actually, we do have a garden here, a veggie garden and stuff. We did use it all up, so we actually have to do it again. I actually had it on my show. You guys saw me on my channel where I actually started doing with the children the gardening. It's actually quite nice. It's a nice thing to do if you got children to do with them. Actually,
it's a good little skill. Yeah, it's a good little skill for them to learn. Because I remember growing spuds and carrots and radish and everything with my dad, and I loved it. I loved digging the garden out and getting all the spuds when it was time, then digging the garden over, ready for the next year and stuff. It's brilliant. I used to love stuff like that.
And I think that's something that this generation is very scared of doing. They don't like getting their hands dirty. No. So they don't want to know. They don't know how to make a fire out of nothing. They don't know how to plant trees, plant anything, do anything actually with their hands. They just sit inside all day and do TikTok videos.
Well, there's loads of people don't actually know that, like, your carrots and your potatoes is a seed, and all you have to do is chuck it in the ground. Do you know what I mean? Things want to grow. Do you know what I mean? It's not hard.
Yeah.
No, especially things like carrots and spuds and that. They're so simple to grow. You know what I mean? You just need water and a bit, just the normal stuff, isn't it? The elements, that's what you need.
Yeah, but think about it. When you guys were younger, most everybody I knew could start a fire just from a few twigs in the forest, and you would know how to make clean water to drink and all that.
Yeah.
Ask any person today, how do you create a fire? I need a lighter, or I need a match. They don't. They're not going to know how to make a fire.
No. No.
They're not going to know how to get clean drinking water. That's why I said when the shit does hit the fan, they're all dependent on the system.
See,
They dumbed it down for a
That's
reason.
right.
these prepper channels are brilliant. Like, if you go and watch some of them, they'll show you how to make a little kit. Do you know what I mean? That you can carry with you all the time. And I know some of these preppers are like fear mongering and that. And when they need to be preppers, they're not. You know what I mean? Like when everything we're going off with Trump and all that, like they were on his side, weren't they? But they're good to watch. You know, like you can cover cotton wool in Vaseline, and it's like, you know, it's brilliant for fires and that.
I mean, we even used to take old bread and just germinate it and stuff, so it can start growing the mold. So you're able to grow seeds through there, and it worked brilliantly.
Of course, yeah. Isn't it?
That's it, Rich. They're playing survival, but on computer games.
Yeah, let's play DayZ. Now I'm a survivalist.
Like I live near the woods, right? And in summer, you'd think there'd be kids in there making string ropes and making dens, and they're not. It's like dead. I can remember when it used to be 6-week holidays, and I'd go out me at like 9 o'clock in the morning. I won't come back till it was nearly dark.
That's right.
I'd be out in fields or up woods, you know, messing down canal.
Yeah, I was always told don't get, because I live by the seaside. I was always told, I used to live by the seaside in Scotland. I was always told don't get wet, and that's what I came back wet every day, covered in seaweed. always fun. It was fun.
Don't look like this lod's coming back in.
No,
So I've got a documentary about South Africa, load shedding, corrupt, whatever business is going off. It's a BBC video, but free use policies. So,
but before we do that,
yeah.
Before we do that, would you guys do me a favor?
What's that?
Yeah.
Would you please tell everybody what you said at the bottom here on the screen again?
Hallo allemaal, dank je dat jullie gekomen. Hoop jullie gaan duwis.
Alle allemaal dankie dat jullie gekomen. Het hoop jullie gaan duwis. That's wow.
I swear you guys are reading French.
It does sound like French when I start reading
South African
language I ever learnt at school.
But
tell us how it should sound. Come on.
But I have to say, I'm very proud of you, Michael. He wrote this guys himself. Obviously, we just had to change device because it's a distroom. So we just had to change that. Otherwise, it was like a river. Anyway, hello almal, dankie dat julle gekom het. Hoop julle geniet die wys. So it's just saying, hello everybody, thank you that you came. Hope you enjoy the show.
It's a lot of, isn't it? I'd be better first thing in the morning.
I can just think if I can write you guys a script in Afrikaans, how fun it will be.
Trying to read that. Any of the South Africans who don't understand this. That'd be funny.
I wonder how hard it a bit to learn it yourself, though.
Well, I think a very difficult language to learn is what's that language you talk, PJ?
Doric.
Doric. That sounds very difficult.
No, because like I said, it used to just be a dialect, but recently, in the past 20 years or so, it got classified as a language. It's like I say, it gets its name from, because it's like a seaside kind of farmerish kind of accent and dialect. It equated itself to the Greeks, the Dorian period, and that was that was called Doric, so that's why it's called Doric, because it just equated itself to like the farmery type of language in Greece at the time. So that's where it comes from, the Dorians. To me, it sounded very Nordic, but until I researched it and realised that Doric is actually a Greek word and from Greece. It's crazy because it does sound Nordic, doesn't it? Doric.
Mhm.
Can you remember when you come up to mine, PJ, and we went to look at that big house at Wentworth?
That's
and
right.
there's like a little, it was called a temple, weren't it? And what were it called, PJ?
Doric House, wasn't it?
Doric Temple.
Doric Temple, yeah.
How mad's that? You know what I mean? And
It is crazy.
PJ is a Doric lad.
Little things like that. It's mental. Love it.
Strange. Very strange. So, right, let's get on with this documentary. Like I said, fair use, YouTube. Fair use. So, what it is it's a documentary. It's about South Africa, load shedding, corrupt government. It's a BBC documentary, so I just like to get Flatzoid's take on it, see whether it's representing accurately, not representing accurately. And anytime you want to stop fellas, just say can't.
Also, I just have to shout out the missing research quickly. He's also in South Africa. He's in Cape Town, so he'll also be able to back this up.
Cool.
If you want to join, I'll post a link now.
Yeah, he actually went live. He was so nervous.
Yeah.
And I don't think he
I'm
needs
still
to.
nervous now. And this is my 7th stream, and I'm still nervous. Like, weird.
It seems like more now, though, doesn't it? It seems like more.
It's all right when you've got people to talk to, like, but when you've just got to. When there's just me and PJ, and I've got to think of something to talk about.
Hey,
But am I here?
Yes, you
Am I here? That's the
Yes,
question.
you are. Yes, you are.
Oh man, I had to start the PC. I don't know, man. This is weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, I restarted and it works.
Let me just clear something to you, Dish, right? I post my show links in FEC room on Element, but we don't use Element for my stream.
Yeah, that's the part I didn't know. I just went there first.
So I'll repeat myself again now for Dislard's benefit. We're just gonna watch this documentary about South Africa load shedding and that. It's BBC, so we're gonna have to stop and start quite a lot.
Yeah.
So
How's
anybody
my
wants
audio
to say,
level?
yeah, it's not bad, mate. Anybody wants me to stop, just say can't stop.
Cool.
Just so my crazy high, or
I'll play it a little bit and then tell me if you can hear it. Can anybody hear it?
Not showing any. It's just showing Joburg. I still love Joburg. Might have to stop sharing and try again.
This is crazy.
It's a conspiracy.
I know. I've tested it twice though to see if it works. That's what's crazy thing about it. Now it's buffering. I can hear some echo as well from.
Yeah, we're through Discord.
Sorry, chat. You'll have to bear with me. Something's going off, and I don't know what.
Remember, guys, we're the most professional people on YouTube.
Flatzoids taught me well.
We get your KSIs and Jake Pauls and that.
It's buffering now.
Maybe you should download it. Then you don't need to worry about buffering.
Might have sorted it now. Hold on a minute.
Are we the only ones over here having stormy weather tonight?
No, it's storming here by me now too.
It's really windy here.
Yeah,
very windy.
I hope it just
here. It's crazy.
Because if I like glitch out, you know why? See, Flatzoid, your internet is messing around. As I said, it's stormy weather right here, so we'll see what happens.
I know. That's it. Right. Hey, let's try again. Share.
Well, it's not the one from what's it called? What's the name of
it?
Lion King.
BBC
you know Shere Khan. Shere Khan.
When was this video though?
Says 3 months ago.
Okay, so it should still be about relevant though.
just popped up in my feed. Like,
14.7 million.
let's just do a quick sound check, see if you can hear it.
It is going to be a cold,
Yeah.
dark.
Right.
Fine.
Yep.
So everybody can hear it, right?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So if you want me to start, just say so.
Let's
Night
go.
for many South Africans with stage 6 load shedding announced.
South Africa is sinking into darkness. Its crumbling power system no longer able to keep the lights on. The poorest here hit hardest.
See, that don't look very poor. I mean, we're looking at a big city with skyscrapers and that. They don't look that poor there, does it? Like, so what? Why can they not power this place?
Maybe
But
maybe in the dark it just looks exotic. It
But
does
you know
look
what's-
exotic.
You know what's the sad thing? A lot of the time, when we do have the power off, you can go to certain areas and they always have power.
Mm.
And I mean always.
Wow.
And the places that usually always have the power are places like the ministers, and obviously the hospitals most of the time require power. But it's crazy. Why is it that it's subject to most people, but there's some
Well,
people that's high on the ladder that never get the shedding?
it should double standards, isn't it? Why were Boris Johnson partying when everybody else were told to stay at home and wear masks? Like,
Well,
Mhm.
exactly.
there we go.
After 20, 25 years,
You're going to have to close down.
yes.
The power crisis is the result of decades of mismanagement and massive corruption. Criminal gangs ready to kill anyone who tries to stop the looting.
Mhm.
I was shaking badly. I was literally lying like this.
Yeah, that's true. They literally have people that when we had that little coal incident where they were having shortage of coal or whatever the stage, they actually had people where they were going and threatening people, the drivers and stuff, that they would threaten them when they had to go and load it off.
Wow.
Because yeah, it's well, it gets bad though.
Yeah. Hey, Mikey Smith, how you doing?
So, when you're in darkness, you've got people going around robbing and looting and stuff like
All
that.
over the place. That's why I've got on in the outside we've got solar lights. I want to actually get more of them because it does help to have some light. Because they see there's some light, then they're a bit cautious to come in the yard.
I heard somebody talking about this, saying like they have to stay up all night because they're scared of getting people breaking in.
And they're breaking all over, especially when the lights off. They wait for the power to be off and then they break in. Yeah.
I started gasping for air, a mixture of cyanide and sodium arsenite.
Yeah, that
Today,
was the
South
right,
Africa still
It's
that
like
was
Philip Schofield.
that was the writer. He was they tried to kill him because he was trying to get the corruption out.
Right.
So he had to end up leaving the country because yeah, what's going to happen? Nothing.
But like, I'm just looking at these pylons now. Like, infrastructure don't look bad,
Well, yeah.
unless they're only showing you best parts, like. But
No,
I mean,
it's the stations,
the
the power
pylons
stations
would-
themselves.
Yeah. So that's the type of pylons and that you would see here. I mean, they look quite well built and that, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
it's not infrastructure that's the problem, then, is it? It's
No.
some kind of corruptness going off
Yeah,
within.
it's
But as I say-
corruption, man.
Yeah, it's just corruption. They
Yeah.
just steal. Remember, every fund that comes in to try and do something, they just take the money and they go spend it on a luxurious party, or they buy a nice house in a private island somewhere.
Mm.
Or
How
put
are
it
they
in the
gonna?
offshore account.
Yeah. I mean, they probably got big ass parties on the ground somewhere, you know. No one invited,
I mean-
but it needs all the power of the night.
I mean, look at Zuma with his nice Nkandla home that he built for millions and millions of rands, and his couch that was just filled with millions and millions of rands in there, notes.
Yeah.
And
What
what was his Zuma when he was president? It's amazing. The last 3 or 4 presidents that we've had all were shown to be corrupt and thieves. How does that work?
Crazy stuff.
Because it's
Still
actually
gets almost all
it's actually got so bad that there's a joke that's been going on for years. Like, to become a president, you have to have a criminal record.
Yeah.
Wear an eye patch.
Hmm.
Let's carry on.
all its power from burning coal. It's a lethal addiction.
It's killing us. This coal is killing us.
The answer to many is a green revolution. But can Western money and pressure help South Africa embrace renewable energy? Or is the rot here simply too deep?
It's very depressing. It's very concerning. Our country is in a serious, dark place.
So it looks like there's, the burning coal. So why aren't you getting power?
Yeah, but that's the thing. We got enough coal now to last us for 200 years.
Wow.
But the stations can't run. Even they got diesel shortages again. Then they got the people sabotaging the plants. They got cable theft everywhere. It's just everywhere. It doesn't stop. And when the people try and like the Raider, like I said, he had to actually leave the country because they actually tried to kill him because he tried to get the corruption taken out. Because the corruption ends up being at the highest form in the government, which is sad. So how are you going to fight the corruption if the government is the corruption?
Don't know what you can do, is there? Like,
Nothing a person can do.
That's the whole world's problem.
it is, yeah. But
And you
overthrowing
see-
government ain't ever going to happen, is it? I don't think.
They fuck with everybody with electricity, in these times right now. It's just you don't have any right now in the nighttime, but all us others, we are extremely overbuilt, and they keep pushing the prices up and down with dumb excuses that makes no sense. Around here now, the electricity gets extremely expensive some days because the solar panels ain't, the wind power ain't giving us enough. It's three times or four times more expensive because of that. Stupid things like that, and we are win things. So
1 minute, this lad.
Yeah.
I've just stopped sharing because Ryan wants invite.
Okay.
Cool.
Yo, Ryan.
He's not here
Yeah,
yet.
so they just make
I
excuses
know.
up.
I'm just saying yo. He's saying yo.
Give invite.
Man, I should stop eating.
Flat will be 3 stone heavier next year.
It's you cracking some chips.
No, it's popcorn. Since I've opened the popcorn, I've eaten popcorn, cake, fudge.
Just see if Ryan comes in.
Good to see, man. But yeah, it's so far it's quite accurate, that documentary.
Yeah.
Well, it just popped in my YouTube feed, and it's an eye opener. Like.
Yes, Jeff. Mandela did get in prison for blowing up islands.
Oh, did he?
I think all these documentaries, unless
for more than just
is it an official one?
It's a BBC one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah. So it's probably just gonna push the agenda that we are gonna have to help. That us, the European Union, America, all that. We gotta help everybody else to get onto the same track as us. You get the same system and get all work together as a family in the corrupt shit. So everybody just kind of power grid they're working on rolling out right now. And then we all have that, and they will completely control it and be able to remotely shut it down if they want to. It's going to be even worse with the new grid. I think that might be the 20. This month's number, the 23rd. I think it has to do with the power grid. To be honest, I don't think it's much more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you might have a point.
It's just a change to electronic everything. Smart system kickstarted. I think they kickstarted that shit.
Yeah, it's the kickstart of the beast system.
Yeah.
But
Are you, right, so we're watching a documentary, Ryan, and stopping and commenting on it. All right, so you know what's going off.
Cool, thank you.
Watch the snacking or you'll be flatzoid.
Flatzoid.
Here we go.
Stage 4 load shedding will
Have we got sound? Yeah.
Yeah.
continue to be implemented until further notice. It says that stage 6 will be implemented at 8 p.m. tonight until 5 a.m.
How did it come to this?
So how many hours is stage 6? Like how many hours without power?
Stage 6 is usually at 4-hour stints that it's off.
And
But
can
they
you have
talk-
more than one stint in 124 hours?
Yeah, with stage 6, it's usually off 3 to 4 times a day.
Wow.
So you're off more than it's
What's-
on. But now they're talking we might have a stage 7 and stage 8 coming.
What about
We gotta call out Charlie Welsh comment.
when-
Watch the snacking
they-
or you'll be fatzoid.
Yeah, we already called that out.
But like,
You must have a little delay there, Dislord, because Flats called that out about 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I just saw it now. Yeah.
how do you keep things in your freezer frozen? That's
Yeah, I
how.
was just about to say-
How we do it.
Oh, that's
we
why they
only
said.
buy-
Yeah,
We
okay.
only buy weekly. Yeah, we buy groceries weekly because it doesn't help to buy it monthly and then it gets, spoiled or something if the
Of course.
freezer defrosts, or what if the fridge gives in with all the power on and off, on and off.
Of course.
I mean,
You don't
I'm
have
so-
a generator?
Yeah, but the generators.
It won't power it won't do the deep freeze.
It's a small generator, but also
Yeah, I've
one-
got a couple of small ones.
Yeah. But also the thing is, it's bad for the thing if it keeps going off the power cuts. So it works everything bad. I mean, that's why I'm actually worried about the computer as well. Actually, to get myself a UPS just in case.
Yeah, make sure you get a surge protector, a really good one. That'll keep it from having problems.
Definitely. There we go, Michael Kahn. 2 hours, 4 hours, then 2 hours, and then 6 hours a day.
Wow.
So it's 6 hours a day at the moment for that stage, yeah.
It's just mental, isn't it? I mean, we've never. I mean, I can remember one power cut, and I think it might have been 5 years ago, and it was a couple of hours, and I was lost. Do you know what I mean? It was like doing my head in.
It's true. You don't know what to do with yourself. I remember at power cuts when I was a kid. They were more common in the winter when I was a kid out in Scotland, in the 80s. But we used to like it because you used to do things when it was dark and that. You get the candlelight out and start playing little games and stuff like that. We used to like it. But now, the electric went out for an hour. We wouldn't know what to do. We wouldn't know what to do.
I mean, it's like I don't think I've even got any candles. Do you know what I mean? If we were to have a power cut now, I'd have a torch with half a charge in it or something. That's it.
Right.
I mean, no candles at all. Very ill prepared.
Yeah, I at least have power saving lights, globes in the house. So when the power does go off, we still got light.
Right.
And it stays light for at least about an hour and a half to 2 hours.
I got a lot of
It
those
just makes you
solar
think,
lamps
though,
and
I mean-
solar stuff.
People
You
should.
mean like for your yard and whatever?
People
Yeah,
should
yeah.
really
I
think
use it
about being
inside,
prepared.
even right now.
It is coming, you know. I mean, they're talking about it here all the time. You know, they mention it, power cuts. Now they've been talking about it in Parliament. You know, fining people for using too much electricity, power cuts, making people have these smart meters, trying to force people to get these energy pumps that cost like £13,000.
It's crazy where things are more things nowadays are becoming mandatory, isn't they? Where like, it's not even a choice involved. It's like you have to do this. It's crazy.
Well, I can relate to some of it though, because I know over there where you guys, maybe not in South Africa, but I know in the UK, especially in Ireland, when I went there and stayed for a month, they turn everything off, and like every room has like its own little switch, and when they leave that room, they shut the door, and then they turn off the power to it. So like everything in there, even the VCR and all that, it gets shut off. It's like, so I can understand why Americans especially we could probably save a lot more energy. But you know, when it comes to like shutting our power off because we supposedly use too much or whatever, that just sounds ridiculous. Like, don't they count on that to make their business? I mean, come on.
Well, they've engineered it into technology. Everything goes on standby. Do you know what I mean? And it's still using power, but that's engineered into technology that they're giving us.
But remember, that's what I said. It's just part of making everybody dependent on their system. That's all. It's just about dependency, making everybody dependent. It's just I'm trying to think of. No, I'm trying to think what the word is. Conditioning.
Yeah.
They condition everybody to accept it as a norm.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, when the shit hits the fan, you have to accept what they give you because you're gonna say, I need the system. That's it. I need it to survive. If I don't do it, I'll die.
Non-conformist.
That's all. It's just
it's like they're resetting us to the old days. You know, they're slowly bringing us back to the old days, like our grandparents were living. You know, limited and more natural, but still crappier. You know, they're taking all the futures.
but
the new stuff slowly away. All the benefits.
But the difference is there.
And the names are coming back.
But the difference is those people those days knew how to survive for themselves. They knew how to make a fire. They knew how to get clean water.
I still do, thank God.
And they have a lot of stuff in the garden.
People aren't so practical or pragmatic nowadays. You know, like once upon a time, like my dad, if he was still alive, he'd be in his 80s. He'd be 87, and he was so handy. You know what I mean? He knew loads of little tricks, and he'd been in the army.
Well, I've just told you I've got no candles in the house whatsoever. But if I go to my mum's, and I know if I look under the sink, there's loads of candles. That's the difference. Like,
my wife has thousands of them.
I have to remember to put candles on my next shopping list. Anyway, back to the video.
Go for that.
South Africa, the continent's great economic powerhouse, is in deep trouble. Long days.
That's a bit rich, isn't it? Powerhouse.
Yeah, it was a powerhouse. Now they're just hurting.
Power cuts in Johannesburg and across the country. Dawn and the traffic lights are still not working. This is Alexandra Township, a poor neighborhood on the edge of Johannesburg.
Every day here, the power goes out, sometimes for 4 hours, sometimes for 8 or more. Officially, it's called load shedding, which sounds almost helpful, almost pleasant. But the truth is that these power cuts are having...
Why does he have to go to the township to show this? I mean, everybody's going through this. It's kind of like he's using...
Yeah, he's avoiding the slums.
Yeah, no, he's in the... I mean, he's in the slums. He's kind of playing the sympathy card here. Look at
I see.
They're only attacking the poor people here. That's what the words I've been getting from the beginning here.
Well, this is why I wanted to play it and have you on. You know, to get your view on it. It is BBC after all. You know, it's going to be some kind of fear-mongering indoctrination video.
Because one thing I've been seeing, what the current theme is, the poor.
Yeah.
No, it's not just affecting the poor; it's affecting everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that to me is a bit of a thing that's wrong. Because
a cop-out is what we call it.
Yeah, they're trying to paint it as the tyranny. You guys are tyrants against the poor people. But what about the middle class? What about the rich? Obviously, the richer people are able to afford solar systems and generators and all that stuff.
Yeah, look, that's like dish.
I was about to say that. I was just about to say, do these shack places have like electricity and anything? It's not like this. That answer my question.
Dude, I've been in the middle of Soweto where they have like triple-story shacks, and the guy drives a BMW M3.
Wow!
Because they don't pay for the land, so they get the land for free. They build themselves a shack for nothing, and they drive around R1 million car.
Wow!
I've seen that.
What is wrong
I
with
mean,
people
come
now?
on.
What's wrong with them?
Yeah. It's more important to show, look at how fancy I am in my car when you're outside than living great, you know.
But that's the thing. The people want to say what they call it keeping up with the Joneses.
Aye.
So they want to go partying when they go to the party with a nice car, you know, Armani shoes and everything, and then they go out and looking all brilliant. But that's all they spent their money on because they live in a dump.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A devastating impact in a country with a stagnant economy and soaring unemployment. And it's particularly in poor neighbourhoods like this one that the effect.
Them roads look like they do around here with divots in them. And
That still looks good. That still looks good.
Yeah, it doesn't look much different. It looks like Thailand as well, you know. It's not much different. It's the same style.
I mean, they take
Just
loads of
depends
money
where.
off us, car tax and this and other, and roads around here are terrible.
Yeah, they're awful.
I've seen roads that bad in California, actually.
Wow.
In fact, you can tell when you've left Yorkshire because roads get better.
Well, one thing I have to say when it comes to roads in South Africa, if you want brilliant roads, go to Cape Town.
Yeah.
The government in Cape Town.
I heard Dubai was the best.
The roads are brilliant. But some places, this is still good, by the way. This road looks good.
They made of gold, aren't they, in Dubai?
It was a joke, darn it.
Suzeke Musa has run this bar for 25 years.
We don't have money because of the power, because of the electricity. You can see now, it's dark.
Are you going to survive in your business?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
The power shortage is taking the business out.
It must be stressful.
Very, very, very stressful. Very, very stressful.
The cash transfer business next door is on the ropes too.
We sit more than 6 hours doing nothing. It's our salaries. If we don't work, we don't get paid.
Really?
Essentially, this economy has ground to a halt because we cannot provide factories, industry with electricity that's needed to produce. That has a direct impact on poor people who lose jobs.
Sorry.
You know, this is actually wrong what the guy's saying. The industry has gone to a halt. No, the industry hasn't gone to a halt. It was stopped like this way before. I mean, like I said, in 1994, they already warned the government they should start doing infrastructure, building more plants.
I went to school with a lot of people who had lived in South Africa like in early 80s and that, and I think by end of 80s a lot of people were coming back to England, so there were clearly something going off back then, you know what I mean?
And Jeff guys, it's like Honda generators don't exist. No, the problem is the generators exist. The fuel to run them is the problem. It's getting so expensive, it's becoming crazy. You have to be rich just to run the generator. Like I said, beginning of the year, I used 300 rand, 200 rand of petrol a week. Now we're looking at 600 rand of petrol a week.
Wow.
And we still struggle to come through. So everything's becoming more expensive. And next month it's going up 2 rand a litre again, which it literally just went up 2 rand a litre beginning of the month.
It's ridiculous.
Wow. Well, I don't know what rand is to American dollars, but our gas fluctuates from like $6 a gallon down to 4 something a gallon, but it really hasn't gone back down to normal, which is like 2 something a gallon. And my electric bill and my water bill like doubled, even though I've used less water and less electricity than I did last year at this time. So I don't know what's going on, but they're doing it here too.
Well, even our electricity, we used to do 100 rand a week. Now we're doing 200 rand a week, and we still don't make it through the week.
Wow.
Yeah. And our power's off most of the time. So that doesn't make sense. Power's off most of the time. You're spending more than double you used to on electricity, and you still don't make it through the week.
You know, there's a lot of tricks on the internet, like especially YouTube. Not that I'm advertising for them, but You know, there's a lot of stuff on there where people show you how you can store food underground with dry ice and things. There's ways to do it if you have access to different, things. I'm not sure what you guys have access to there, but because I've never been there, but you know what I'm saying? Like there's ways you can store food and even have shelter under the ground if you're smart.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say hello to Jeff Congo. Are you not coming in, Jeff? And hello to Planeta. And to everybody else in the chat.
It's good to see everybody in, actually.
How many's in?
25 people watching. That's
Really?
25, yeah, 25.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Please share the show. Hit the likes, guys.
Look like it.
Look at this. See what's saying. Missing research in Cape Town. I have no idea, but last month 1,300 rand electricity for the month. Exactly. It's crazy.
Crazy.
We buy electricity weekly because it's the only way we can go through. I'm not able to do it monthly though.
We really need to get you guys those diesel generators run on spill oil. You know, that would be. I can't stop thinking about it every time we talk about it.
Yeah.
It's just
if I can
it's a cheap, good solution.
Yeah, if I can get a diesel generator and transfer to run on
Spill
oil,
oil, yeah.
then I can
Run
go
on diesel,
and I stop at every McDonald's and KFC and ask them for their old oil.
Well, I hear the homeless people are fighting over that stuff now.
Back to video.
Jobs, who cannot work, who cannot earn money. And poverty kills. Poverty leads to young people not getting the education they deserve and so forth and so forth. At that level, I think this is treason.
Why treason? Well, that's what we're going to try to find out.
We're just heading out of Johannesburg now, and almost immediately we are in coal country. You can see the coal-fired power stations on the horizon, and you can smell the coal too. Now, in theory, this huge industry is supposed to be quietly transitioning to renewables, to solar and wind in South Africa.
Let's push in global warming.
That's how they're going to. That's what I said. They've always got some kind of underlining.
That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I've also heard that as
and
much as
solar is
people
not
say
even an idea.
it's bad, coal is actually not as bad as they say it is, but I don't know. It's true.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, they want to get it right to push in a tax for anybody that does use solar. Like, what the hell? Why must you pay tax?
Yeah, I was going to say, how does that work? You should be getting a bonus.
And the panels.
Yeah, I mean,
the panels are so polluting, and you have to replace them a lot. You know, it's too expensive and too polluted. You can't get rid of those panels after they're done.
But you see how they're catching the people out now, because you can claim tax from SARS for having your panels, okay? But that's how they catch you.
Yeah.
So as soon as you're going to start claiming tax from it, they're going to say, "Oh, but now you can't be tax exempt. So later on, you have to pay tax for your panels. How dare you want money from the government for your panels, but you don't want to give?" So this is also like a catch-22.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like to bend you over a barrel.
We know we already have the technology to run electricity straight out of the air. You know, we know those machines already exist. They already got it. Everyone could have their own little unit in their house running their whole home. You know, they already exist. We're just not allowed to get it. But that's what they're gonna run out soon and put to replace everything. And we are just gonna get paid to use it, to log it, to access it, and we're gonna have to pay to access it even though we want at home. Because it's free electricity, that they will make us pay for.
But I just want to say,
out.
Jeff Gassett was correct. Yeah, it's a steam coming out there. That's not not coal burning. That's cooling towers.
Cooling towers, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Has huge resources of both, but in practice, that transition is proving very difficult and very dangerous.
We're heading to a town called Emalahleni. The word itself means place of coal. If you want to understand South Africa's energy crisis, this is a good place to start. The town is surrounded by mines and by criminal gangs fighting for a slice of the coal industry. With us in the car, a local guide, wary of being identified.
So we're coming just to the edge here of what is an illegal mine, an illegal coal mine. I'm just going to go along the corner here, is that okay?
We're told there.
How do you have an illegal coal mine?
It's a mine that's closed down, and then they go and do illegal mining on that coal mine.
Right. Right.
Just recently, there was a incident at one of the illegal mines where I think it was 30 illegal miners trapped or something, because the mines are unsafe, and they go and they do mining, because a lot of these mines are being bought over by the Chinese. And well, yeah, before they get them running again, obviously there's a lot of red tape and stuff to do, because China's buying South Africa over, guys. Soon we're gonna not be South Africa anymore.
Yeah.
The big dragon is taking over a lot, huh?
They bailing us out on a lot of debt as well. So what do you think is gonna happen when they say, "Oh, you owe us"?
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I'll say? I'll say, come take it.
I'm seriously thinking about getting out of there.
You're gonna need a plane ticket and a lunchbox, buddy.
It's not like Africa don't got a lot of people too, you know. They to stand up against whatever, but you know it's just who
Not
does
South Africa.
who does is the problem.
Have you seen the South African army?
No. But I mean, everybody can just say no and fuck you and do their thing. It's more they're not like you don't have to fight.
That's the problem.
Yeah, they're not
Nobody
getting
does
back. But that's what I
But
said.
people don't do that.
Yeah, but this, like I said, everybody's
Nobody does.
dependent. They're dependent on the government, so they're going to say, well, if you're not going to go fight for your country or whatever, you're not going to get electricity, you're not going to get water, you're not going to have food. You either die or do what we tell you.
That's right.
That's all they're going to do.
Oh, they could all rush the government center, but we can keep saying that because it's not going to happen. People are always too scared to do something big numbers.
Yeah, that's true.
Before they are actually dying, we got 1 day to fix it, or we'll all die. Okay, let's do it today then. The last day. That's what's up always.
Procrastination for you.
There are at least 60
Somebody else to do
so-called
it so they
black
can join,
sites
yeah.
in this region, where coal is stolen or traded illegally.
What's extraordinary is quite how brazen it is. It's happening every day out in the open, in daylight.
Even at night, we hear gunshots. Gunshots. Even they are fighting amongst themselves.
The different gangs.
Yes.
We need to be careful then.
Yes.
Because there's so much money at stake.
Yes.
That they will kill for it.
They'll do that. They'll do that.
Let's see if we can try and talk to one of the truck drivers with the coal once they've left this area. Is it quite a dangerous business to be involved in?
Yeah, sometimes it is, because
I'd say it'd be dangerous to stop a trucker.
Illegal or
So where's all this coal going? If it's an illegal mine, where's it all going? All this coal?
They have it usually gets exports, because I mean, exports is a big commodity for South Africa. So I mean, I think they said 31% of South Africa's coal gets exported.
So other countries should stop buying it then, shouldn't they? Really? By buying it,
But they don't know where it comes from.
And I think that 31% is the legally exported coal. But what about the illegally exported coal? You understand? If they have it illegal, they can just have it there and say, oh, pay half price or whatever. You never know.
illegal.
You get the hood price.
To that mine, only to find out that that mine is illegal.
Local journalists investigating the gangs run huge risks.
It really is a brutal province for anybody who wants to expose the truth.
A gangster kind of economy.
Yeah, definitely. Life is cheap in this country. You can hire a hitman for 10,000 rand. That's $400. So the system is, I think, rotten to the core.
And
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, $400 is 10,000 rand. Okay, I get it.
well, I mean, it's very simple to do anything. Yeah, I mean, you can get yourself an AK-47 for $50 on the street.
Gosh, I want one.
It's crazy.
I mean, I mean, with that little amount of money to hire a hitman, all okay, this is just of a fun scenario. We could hire a lot of them to go after the government down there. We could hire a whole fucking army to take down the government. With the money we got around here, we could just keep sending money to create a big army to take shit down. One government after the other.
The problem is the government, just re-elect themselves, so they stay in power just like they want to.
And we'll lock them up somewhere. Keep them hidden until they give up.
I mean, think about it. Do you really think everybody votes the same government in over and over?
No.
No, it's all just rigged.
Nope.
Yeah, it's
It's
all
all rigged. It's rigged in every country, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've always said that.
But
Somebody
damn,
asked me,
it
like, why
wouldn't
don't you
take
vote
much
anymore?
money.
I said, because there's no point.
But stolen coal is only part of a much bigger problem. Spread across this province are a dozen coal-fired power plants. They look like ships that have run aground. We're now driving to one named Tutuga, a huge plant. But today, it's barely functioning, brought to its knees by years of mismanagement, looting, and sabotage, like this fire caught on camera at a nearby plant.
Scams that have been going on at power stations like...
So they destroy legal ones and just use dodgy mines and dodgy power plants.
Right.
But I mean, they sabotage everything. Even, I mean, ESCOM also uses a large diesel generators and stuff to, for backup and stuff. Even that gets sabotaged. It's crazy. They say there's literally people walking around with spanners and going to pull bolts somewhere loose so it can get sabotaged.
They're destroying the place where they live.
Yeah, but they probably get a good little pocket cash, enough to survive for the next something.
Think about it. The people that do this for them is usually people that have addictions and all that nonsense. They say, well, you know what? If you do this, I'll give you this amount of money, or I'll buy you your next fix or whatever. Or it's people that owe them money, so then they're forced to do it.
It's people who really don't have a choice. They go to for any kind of reason.
Here we go again. Says what a great subject to cover.
Thank you. Here we go again.
This one ranged from pretty basic flaw, for instance, inflating the price of simple protective gear by up to 800 times, to much more complex things like sabotage, so jamming key pumping stations and also putting rocks in the coal supply to damage the whole system. And then, of course, you have to bring in new contractors to fix things with more inflated prices.
Tutuga is such a lucrative target for criminal gangs that the last plant manager wore body armour to work. His successor is hoping he can manage without.
So you're happy about your security?
That's a nice steady number in it at work, having to go body armoured up.
What does that tell you?
You won't go.
It pays good.
It's just absolutely mental.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Look, I don't think. Can we not go there?
It's a serious question, though. I mean, your predecessor wore a bulletproof jacket because he was so.
Well, this guy's terrified.
He probably didn't even know about the bulletproof vest.
I think he shook a little bit right when he heard that. He was like, "Wait a minute, what did she say?"
Exactly. I don't think he knew about it.
I thought this was just a 30-minute thing on the TV, man.
It's like I just started here. They told me I'm getting a great salary. So what you talking about, body armor now? What?
This is my moment of glory. What is this talk?
They told me I was president.
Concerned about the criminality here, but you're not. You think that's been resolved?
I'm not worried. At this stage, there's nothing substantial for me to get worried. So it is business. I'm focusing on recovering the station.
But the dangers here are real. We've arranged to meet a businessman involved in the local coal industry. He's now scared for his life after being threatened by criminals. We've agreed to hide his identity for his own protection.
It was very terrible because it was the first time someone pulls a gun on me.
Held it to your head?
Yeah, held it to my head. Told me I must do 1, 2, 3.
Did they threaten your family?
They did. They told me they are not afraid of anybody. They are politically connected.
So they're above the law?
Wow.
Basically.
These political connections are crucial. Investigations by South African journalists have revealed alleged links.
I know that wall.
What's that?
Liberator, I know that wall.
And they just let you walk in there, right?
And some of the country's most powerful politicians. This leaked intelligence document claims to identify 4 criminal cartels, each with a network of henchmen and assassins, and links to senior government officials. A sign here, to many, of the rot within the governing ANC.
The ANC cannot solve this problem because the ANC is as involved as everyone else in this problem. It's so deep in the rot, it doesn't know how to extricate itself, and any attempt to fix the problem exacerbates it.
Yeah, it sounds like it's gone on for too long. It's too deep. Like it's.
Yeah, definitely.
Remember, if it had to really come out that it is the government doing this, which everybody knows anyway, how are they going to recover from this?
Exactly.
I mean, the normal, ordinary people on the street are just gonna say, "Well, then why should we have a government? Why should we trust the government?" They'll literally just overthrow.
Of course.
Just say, "What the hell? Who needs a government?"
Debatable D said something interesting. He said South Africa is a complex state regarding politics, economic, racial divide, cultural differences, classism, income disparity. I don't know how it's all going to be untied and resolved. Yeah.
I agree.
That way, isn't it?
But our government here, do you know what I mean? They're not cutthroat cartels but they're just as corrupt.
Well, think about this. Remember what you said. What the Masons do. Out of chaos comes comes order.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how the beast system is built upon. Why do you think everywhere it's going so chaotic at the moment? It's going to collapse. Everything will collapse eventually.
Yep.
And that's how they're going to get their order by creating a one world government.
Jeff,
because think about it, they have a one world government, it's going to be, now we're not going to have corruption because it's a one entity party.
This means we'll have one enemy.
Exactly. It's going to be a transparent government, as they put it. So it's not going to.
Like that exists.
Okay. But people fall for it. That's the problem with humans. Very gullible by nature, and if they're conditioned to believe, to not have critical thought, hence why people are so against people like Flat Earth, because it goes against the indoctrination. If you're conditioned just to believe and accept everything, what do you think is going to happen when the one world government comes in? Just trust us.
Exactly.
We have your best interest at heart.
Yeah. Like they have all along, right?
Just conform. You know what I mean? Just conform. That's it.
and we're gonna end up being like, okay, so no one anywhere trusts their governments anymore, and they're gonna be, all right, okay, we got a solution for that too. We'll put AI on. They can't think like humans. They can't be greedy. They can't do this and that, but they'll be programmed as they want them to anyway when they put them on. When that starts controlling things, they will be programmed in a certain way, and it's still gonna suck for us. And
Well,
there's nothing we can do.
Well,
Yeah, that's what they're testing right now.
there's companies
Yeah.
actually having they're testing out having AI CEOs at the moment, so they can work 24 hours a day, 27 days a week
Man.
for
Yeah.
free.
And then they got the big boss control because it's a program you can sense to.
Mm-hmm.
Then the whole thing is led by nobody, but somebody.
Yeah, let's carry on because you've only got another 45 minutes, ain't you?
Yeah.
Anyone stop the rot? In 2019, a businessman, Andre de Ruyter, was brought in to clean up the state power utility, ESCOM. He was
looks like you steer karma.
blunt about the challenges.
So the stays were cut, the tower was pushed over onto the other line, but nothing was stolen. So this is not an economic crime. This was clearly now...
So this guy was brought in to try and sort job out?
Mm-hmm. He was brought in to sort everything out, and he was digging too deep. So they tried to poison him with arsenic in his coffee mug.
That's crazy.
And
nice.
I think, and when he tried to, how can I say, fight back on all this, they threatened him and his family, and he had to, for safety, they had to flee South Africa from the government.
Wow.
Yeah.
How nice is that?
So, I mean, that in itself tells you that there's no hope, is there? Like,
I'm just glad I never got hired to do any of these jobs and got sent to some country like that, because I probably would have ended up killing myself because I would have fought against them anyway, and that would have been stupid.
Yeah,
if they are rolling out these little independent power plants, you can put on your table, little energy, what's it called, free energy box, then the high government anywhere in the world would probably be promised a lot of cool stuff like that, technology from that end. They would never give that up, being part of the new world and being, having everything for free while, everybody else suffers. But corruption is corrupt. They would sign
Well,
up for that shit. They would find the right people
not
who does
unless
though.
not unless they figure out how to read our minds and know exactly what our thoughts are, and then they could control those too, and then in that case they could allow that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and now they're just making
Because
it
they
all
could just
seem
put
like
in whatever they
it's
want later.
hopeless. They're making it so hopeless, seeming so hopeless that everybody will just be happy with the solution they bring. That's that order out of chaos, and it is exactly what's happening, as Flatzoid also say. They're just gonna try to
My question
roll
is,
us
do you really
into
think people are going to fall
something
for it
new.
though? Like, I don't know. I guess you're right. I don't know. It scares me to think that people will fall for that. But I don't know. I
Well,
guess it depends on the level of understanding, I guess, and that's tough.
yeah. It's that stupid trust in government bullshit. They just trust them to fix the problem no matter how bad it gets. We will be all right. It's always been like that. It always works out in the end. We might suffer for a while, but it's all good. It will work out, just that it doesn't matter. We will be okay kind of mentality. Just waiting for it to be okay again, even though it might not ever be. But they're just hoping to the end, So then they can't stand it after a while, and they'll get a solution they'll grab onto no matter what, because they're dying or they don't know what to do.
Well, look at this. This is how stupid people are. Even look at in South Africa with voting. Every time they vote for a government, the people say they're not going to vote ANC. And then just before the elections, they give them a T-shirt and a loaf of bread. Then they vote for them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I got you. It's that easy, huh?
Just the trust in Trump, as when I watched one video, I don't even care to watch, but I watched that one video from a while ago, and the trust they have in Trump still, people, the belief they have in Trump, even though, I don't want to say the word, but he brought the, and yeah, he said maybe the usual solution to fix to not have to take the you know what I'm talking about, and he brought that out to people, and most people are still worshiping him like a god over there. People are turning to Trump, 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 Trump. They don't get that he was never the solution. He was just the better
Even
choice, but
told
never the
everybody.
solution. He never will be.
Even
They
told
programmed him
everybody.
into being, yeah.
Told
They show him in Simpsons. They show him in this. He's in the predictive programming everywhere. He's been a predictive program character from
Yeah,
the
he is.
start, and he still is. He's just leading you into something you believe is going to be right, but it's not. It's just he's going to bring us the solutions now. He's going to lead you into all the shit they want you to get into anyway, in a nice sounding way, and then someone's going to corrupt it right after him or take him out and make it bad, may turn it bad.
What's that famous statement he made? You knew I was a snake, but you still let me in.
An act of
So he might
sabotage,
be
and
the
I think
one
we
who's
could
going to
call it
make
as
it seem
such.
like it's great and good, but someone will take him out or replace it bad. And yeah, it's probably what's going to happen.
Put it this
But
way.
we'll see.
Put it this way. Antichrist scheduled to come, and he's got to be alive.
And he's got to be. Remember, the
He's got
Antichrist
to be
is
a public figure, hasn't he? Do you know what I mean? Because everybody worships him for bringing well.
We'll have to wait till he receives a head wound and then lives from it.
Exactly.
Well, the Muslims isn't the Muslim no, the Islamic version is Dajjal, right? He's a one-eyed man.
Yeah, in Islam, the Antichrist, he's been injured down in one eye or something like that in Islam.
Oh, so it's very much the same then.
Yeah, it all same sauce. It's just perverted in each its way, and that's it.
Well, yeah, I think I understand that, but I'm not sure everybody that's listening does.
No, okay, yeah.
Okay, ready to go on.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. Let's go on.
Outspokenness would soon get him in trouble. In fact, as we'll see in a moment, it would get him poisoned. The pressure to break South Africa's dependence on coal has been building for years. And yet, south of Johannesburg, machines the size of apartment blocks still scrape at the earth to expose more rich seams.
South Africa is addicted to coal. Right now, 85% of all the power consumed in this country comes from burning this stuff. That's compared with less than 2% in somewhere like the UK, which is why this relatively small economy is still one of the world's great CO2 emitters.
And here's the impact.
As you said, global warming, whatever.
Yeah.
This is wrong. Come on.
But in UK, they closed up coal mines back in early 80s. You know what I mean? We're sat on mega seams of coal that haven't even been touched. And we're buying our power from other places.
Isn't it mental?
I mean, we even outsource some of our power to places like Zimbabwe.
Wow.
How can you outsource your power when you're not giving your own people power?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. I remember when I was still doing imports and exports to places like Zimbabwe and stuff, where they were buying generators and stuff from us because South Africa were importing and they couldn't supply them what they were exporting to them. I was like laughing. It's crazy, but I love how they're blaming now. This girl probably has asthma or something.
Yeah.
Blaming now on the coal burning. Really?
They're not burning no coal because you're not getting no power. Well, this is, you see, it's all tied in it to Agenda 2030, man.
Exactly.
All of it.
8-year-old Princess Matsibula has grown up in coal country.
When she struggles to breathe, it's very hard because she'll be quiet, she won't eat, she won't talk, she won't do anything.
Official information about pollution levels here is curiously hard to get, but leaked studies suggest this province is among the most polluted places on Earth, and that the coal industry is
What?
killing thousands of people every year.
While they're showing steam in
My
the air.
wish is
You'd be
they
surprised
have
at how
to cancel the
how
coal
many
so that
American cities burn coal too. You just don't know it because they mix it with all the other ways that they generate electricity.
But I mean, that's not very polluted. I mean, you can go California. I think is even more polluted than there. What the hell's going on with this guy? He's showing steam coming out there.
Yeah, it's a
And
cooling tower. Even PG&E here has that, and they burn diesel. They don't burn coal. So
you
I mean,
understand
yeah,
what I'm saying? And making it look like
absolutely.
normal.
Actually, those cooling towers are actually good for the environment because they make clouds, and the government depends on that.
So that's really sad. This is the underlining thing. That's why they say they always have a hidden agenda in their message. BBC.
And they always twist it a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is their hidden message.
I won't normally
Global
promote.
warming.
I won't normally promote BBC, but I just wanted to get Flatzoid's take
Yeah.
on.
Look, the information they're giving isn't bad.
Yeah.
But this twist to saying, oh, look, global warming because coal burning, really?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, everybody, there's a lot of people that are born with respiratory illnesses and stuff that have got they're not even close to any coal. It doesn't mean it's coal related.
No.
For all you know, this can just be using the humidifier just for the documentary even. How do you know she's actually even struggling?
Exactly.
It's easy to say, here's 1,000 rand, can we let you act like you're having respiratory problems?
In a random video of some old woman in a mask where you can't see her mouth moving, she could be saying anything.
It's like back when bogey virus were going on here, and they'd show you on BBC all these queues outside vaccine centres, and there were one just round the corner from me, and there were never anybody there.
Yeah, but they're showing
Like, I
queues
could
on the
only see
video.
and them channels that would go around doing auditing, auditing police stations and that, they were covering them, and there were never anybody there. But yet, when you
Yeah,
saw
they
it
even
on
do
news,
that thing with demonstration. They just put a little amount of people in the front. They only film so you see those people standing there. It looks like a lot, but it's just a small army of people, and it's staged many times.
Yeah, but
somebody
how much
walked
of
up
those?
to you and said, just stand in this queue, here's 20 quid standing there just while we do a bit of filming. They'll do it, don't they? You know what I mean?
How much of those videos we watched where they have like the hospitals filled with people and they had mannequins on the
Oh,
stretchers?
I've got a video for you
Yeah.
What the?
that I made. I don't know if it'll get me in trouble though, but I'll share it with you guys.
Yeah, probably not showed live though.
Yeah, we won't be showing
No,
it.
definitely not. But it's basically I took a video of something that was on the TV where they were showing everybody getting their you know what's, and I slowed it down for you, and it was kind of interesting what you see there. You find out that they're not really in some kind of a what do you call it place where they give those. They're actually that's just the tape show. They're doing that in a studio somewhere.
Yeah.
as we can breathe a clean air.
Do you think they will?
They must cancel the coal because it's killing us. This coal is killing us.
I'm just going to skip past kids a bit.
Yeah.
Energy transition, an $8 billion plan to help wean South Africa off coal.
We have
Never.
a vast,
Sorry.
abundant
They'll
energy
never-
source.
Wow, that's an interesting looking blade on that thing.
They'll never go off coal in South Africa. There's just too much money in the coal industry.
Well, we've got these wind farms all over England, and we're still paying through nose for his electric.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And as I said before, even on the days where we don't have much wind or we don't have much sun, in a couple of days, they will go, oh, the electricity is more expensive now because we don't receive enough wind or we don't receive enough solar on these days. So we're getting extra charged the days where those things don't give us extra. They always have some way to fuck us.
I mean, you go to every seaside town in England and you can see a wind farm. You know what I mean?
Oh.
It's an eyesore.
They're all over California, so yeah.
There's 6 big ones close to where I am right now, and we don't. No one receives anything from them. Only the government.
They're planning
Not to mention, most of them are out of commission.
They're planning a new massive one, aren't they, in North Sea somewhere?
Wow.
They put up more and more all the time, but we still have too expensive electricity, and it's always the same excuse when they don't produce enough. Even though we got 4 times as much solar and wind now, we still don't produce enough on those days. It's on many days. It's crazy. It makes no sense.
Freely available to us, which is our wind and solar resources. They're amongst the best of.
Look at this idiot.
Climate Commission, really?
Dr. Crispian. Sounds like
He
Dr.
said-
Crispian.
Look him up.
Crispin Glover from Back to the Future.
Of anywhere in the world. So we have some real least cost options in front of us. We can transition very rapidly onto a renewable dominant energy system.
And speed is crucial, because if South Africa drags its feet on going green, its exports could soon be blacklisted by other countries.
I'm talking about the hard economic reality. If we don't decarbonize, we're going to be shut out of the global trading system, and we're going to lose massive amounts of jobs.
We're already losing on this because of BRICS.
Mm-hmm.
Just because we're part of the BRICS, associated with BRICS, we're already losing on exports and imports. So what the hell? That's got nothing to do with if you're going to use coal or not. If a person uses coal in their own country for electricity, it's not going to change if another country is going to care for imports and exports for your country, is it?
Mm.
Thing is, if everybody starts being green, and in their eyes, global warming still carries on, they need somebody to blame, don't they? So
first prove global warming. That might work.
Right.
But what's sad? This green rubbish they're talking about, it's more harmful to create lithium batteries, for instance, for a Tesla than it is to run a coal power plant.
have you seen them all blowing up and that? I watched a video on YouTube, and there were about 100 electric buses all parked up together, and one set on fire. All lot went up.
Wow.
I mean, seconds, like.
But I mean, it's more harmful for the so-called environment to manufacture these lithium batteries than it is to run a coal mine.
Mm.
So these guys are really, it's just an agenda. That's all it is. It's trying to take something that's easier to maintain and make it as demonized as they say, so they
Do you
can.
know what? If everybody knew Earth were flat, nobody'd buy it.
No, exactly.
Mhm. Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Ian Molyneux said something.
But if you want to know a reason why they lie to you about shape of Earth, there's a good one.
Oh, yeah. Ian Molyneux said something that's accurate. The more wind, it seems accurate to me. Like the more wind and solar farms the UK builds, the higher our energy bills get.
Yeah,
So,
because you know how much millions of dollars it costs to manufacture those wind farms.
Well, exactly. Mm-hmm.
So you're using more money,
Yeah.
and then they want you to pay it off. And once it's paid off, they just keep the surcharges coming because they're making money for it now.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy money. Exactly, Titan. That's what I'm saying. He says they don't use lithium-powered heavy equipment to mine it. The problem is for these lithium batteries, they use cobalt mines that they have little children digging there, which is really sad.
Yeah, it's sad.
They what?
They have little children in cobalt mines digging out for the lithium batteries.
Wow.
And the same people that are the tree huggers and let's show love are the same people that's supporting this. Let's buy lithium batteries and Teslas and stuff, which is really stupid. It's idiotic.
Yeah, it kind of shows how dumb they are. And maybe they really don't know what they're talking about,
They don't. They don't look further than... See, they just see the Prius come in front of them or the or the Tesla, whatever, and say, "Oh, I'm going green because it's it's solar, it's energy powered."
Yeah,
I'm not.
it's easy to get confused by that. I see, but I mean, you would think that they've done more homework on it, like we did, right?
And you wait till your Prius sets on fire, mate, and see how well
Yeah.
you do.
I mean, there's a company, Blue Reef or something. They actually develop electrolysis so they can have hydrogen for their bikes. He created a bike that literally just works on electrolysis, throws water, and uses electrolysis, and he can travel about 600 kilometers on one tank.
Wow.
Yeah, I know about that.
Only water comes out.
Wow.
Now, why isn't it possible just to do that where it's not doing anything? Nobody's getting hurt to do this. It's no environmental change, but it's like pushed out technology. You're not supposed to know how to do this. If you do, you're like an evil guy. But it's fine to use little children to dig out in cobalt mines and have heavy machinery that's burning coal anyway to get your green powered batteries.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the people, these vegans. It's so stupid. Oh, I'm vegan. I don't believe in insects dying. Okay, but your academia nuts that you eat, they kill millions of bees a year to get those macadamia nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello. All your vegan farms, they have to make sure they kill all the rodents and all the bugs and all the
I was gonna
worms.
say, bugs die in every process.
They have to kill
Yeah.
everything so they don't go and contaminate the farms. They actually do more genocide to animals and insects for a vegan farm than they do to, let's say, just a
But
normal.
I bet when the vegans get ants in their kitchen and they can't get rid of them, I bet they call a pest control company.
Mm.
You let him move in his
Uh,
pets.
I'm a vegan, and I you know I don't go so deep in, I mean, I agree with you. I don't think
All right. I'll give you.
it's a big
For you,
difference
it's
and all
different.
that. But I do save the ants and all. I save any bug unless it's a bloodsucker. I do try to find a solution, to not have to kill them.
Some
But
research you can't get rid of them though without killing them. What can you do?
Well, I
there's
agree.
ways.
I don't like killing bugs on purpose. Like I don't spray my yard or my garden with bug spray. No, but it's because I know those poisons can hurt me too, not just the bugs. So
Yeah.
I find other ways. I plant different other plants next to them that the bugs don't like, and it keeps them away.
Yes. You can even take leaves or flowers from certain things and put where they are entering your house, and they will hate being there, and they'll, find another. Yeah, they'll move. They might come and try to find another way in, but they will at least not want to be there anymore. There's natural ways.
Anyway, back on with video. We're off topic.
But the just energy transition faces
Sorry.
obstacles, lots of them. Coal miners and their unions worry, with good reason, about their own jobs vanishing here in South Africa.
Many people will lose their job.
They'd lose their job if the coal was closed down, if the coal mining stopped.
And then there's the politics. Plenty of senior figures here are sceptical, to put it mildly, about the very idea of abandoning coal. You've been described as a coal fundamentalist, as a bit of a dinosaur, somebody who's obsessed with coal.
Yes, they call me all sorts of things, coal fundamentalist.
This guy looks like, I don't know, he looks dodgy as out.
Oh, I don't know who he is.
Fossil fuel dinosaur.
Do you recognise that?
Oh, never
I take
mind.
those as prestigious titles.
Matashi, yeah.
It's a compliment.
Yeah, those are prestigious titles.
Green Mantash.
Yeah, he's the Minister of Mineral Resources and Energy. He's one of the biggest crooks out there, mate.
I was just going to say, he looks as corrupt as you get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he looks like a lovely guy.
He gets a lekker underground check. This guy gets lekker money under the table.
I bet he does.
Mm-hmm.
Titles for me.
Do you believe the West then is treating you unfairly, that they're pushing you to get rid of coal in a manner that just doesn't work for South Africa?
He wants to cry.
Is an understatement.
He almost looks like he wants to cry. Of course it hurts me when you want me to get rid of the coal, because that's where I get most of my money.
Statement. They are treating us as a guinea pig. They want to experiment with us.
No.
But then,
what
choice
nonsense is it?
does
Who is it? Who is he talking about that's treating South Africa as a guinea pig?
Yeah, it's him, innit?
It's experiment. Yeah, there's no such thing as you want to treat him as guinea pig. I mean, there's so much different viabilities that you can do to have power. Now he wants to say it's someone else trying to use South Africa as a guinea pig.
Well, that's easy way out, isn't it? Blame someone else. Well,
Exactly.
we're really doing it.
Mm-hmm.
South Africa have but radical change when it can no longer keep the lights on? When South Africa's president, Cyril Ramaphosa, came to power in 2018, he promised to stop the rot.
We are determined to build a society defined by decency and integrity that does not tolerate the plunder.
None of these look like they're doing without power, do
they? First of
they're
all,
awful quiet.
They're showing a piece where the people aren't sleeping, because usually there's people sleeping. And they're showing the EFF. You see these people in red?
Yeah.
They usually get kicked out of the courtroom on a daily basis. Because
a few of them in red look like they're asleep. Big bald guy in front.
What I'm saying, these people in the red of the EFF, they're like economic freedom fighters. Julius Malema, one of the biggest corrupt guys out there trying to fight for freedom in the economy. Anyway, he used to be the minister, the youth minister, I think, finance or something with in ANC. And then he decided, no, I'm going to start my own party because the ANC is corrupt, but the EFF is just so corrupt. So it's just a different side of the same coin. And these guys literally act like, dare I say it, clowns in Parliament constantly, that they get kicked out. They get kicked out on a constant basis. They're more kicked out of Parliament than they are.
What are they wearing? Like red jumpsuits?
Yeah.
Wow.
Can anybody?
Parliament like it?
Yeah. Can anybody say communists?
Can I say it?
Yeah.
Yeah, communist.
What do you mean? Can I say communist?
Some people don't like that word.
I don't like communists, but I don't. The word doesn't scare me.
What's that guy doing?
He's crashed out.
Look at him with bald head, sat in front in red, and then look at him directly diagonal behind him. He's looking totally opposite way to everybody.
You know what we should do on a stream sometime? We should look at some Parliament footage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to see ours, man?
He looks like
he's the only one who already knows everything that's gonna be said, so he's taking a nap.
He's not that. He's spotted something in the sky, like Jesus.
Well, this one on the bottom right corner of the red thing on her head. She looks like she's sleeping. Her eyes are closed.
Yeah.
He's
definitely asleep. Old guy. Yeah.
Well, I realize that people blink and all, but
he's
and the
like,
guy in the corner.
He's asleep.
And the guy in the corner there with his head on the wall by the marbles clay. There they go now.
Hey, Trump is all up there in the right. Yeah, that's Trump. Look at him. It looks like Trump.
And that's all rump like.
He's sleeping up the wall.
Yeah.
That's mental.
Yes, Ian. These guys in the red are the ones that are singing "Kill the shoot the booze, kill the farmer," and they get away with it.
Okay, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's apparently if they say it, it's not hate speech.
Look at Parliament doors. Look like they're made out of skip doors.
Nice.
Of public resources, nor the theft by corporate criminals of the hard-earned savings of ordinary people.
As part of that process, the president brought in
Wait,
a
we have to
businessman
stop that
called
as well.
Andre de Ruyter.
You know what's sad about that? You're not sad about that. There's investigations going on about Ramaphosa from stealing money as well. So what the hell? Giving
Goodness
this
on
high
the
and
face.
mighty speech,
Yeah.
giving this high
You
and
got to
mighty,
showcase the criminals.
yeah. But I mean, he's giving this high and mighty speech that we should stomp out corruption and stealing, while there's a nice court, investigation about me stealing. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just cover
Little
this little bit.
Freudian slip there.
Just cover this little bit about this guy getting poisoned and that, and then I think it's time for you to go in it.
Yeah.
He's greeting here. His task, to lead South Africa's energy transformation and to fix the mess at the power utility Eskom.
The rot was much worse than I anticipated when I took the job. My rough estimate of the amount of money that gets stolen in Eskom every month is in the region of R1 billion every month.
Wow.
$1 billion.
How much is that, Flatzoid?
Only $1 billion.
$1 billion rand.
$50 million.
You want it in pounds?
How much?
Yeah.
You want it in pounds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
42.6 what?
42 million.
42,600,000 pounds.
Wow. A month.
A month.
That's nearly up there with NASA.
Wow.
Rand, that's $50 million each
There you
month.
go. Yeah.
To be fair, there have been some arrests. This man is an alleged saboteur, accused of damaging a local power station on behalf of a criminal gang. But these prosecutions are targeting the lower ranks. The cartel leaders, the politicians, seem untouchable and still determined to block the transition away from coal.
There are so many vested interests in the coal value chain that the threat of decarbonization, even though we're talking about a multi-decade move, very gradual move away from coal, why that is so eagerly opposed.
The Minister of Mineral Resources and Energy, Gwede Mantashe, says that
Soon, senior figures within the governing ANC started to attack De Ruyter and his team at Eskom.
Eskom, by not attending to load shedding, is actively agitating.
That's the same guy, isn't it?
And he's supposed to be this, how can I put it, playing it, saying everybody's using us as a guinea pig, but now he was against De Ruyter, dude.
Wow.
Why would that be?
Eskom is agitating for overthrow of state.
Exactly. Because he has a lot to lose. It's nice to make a lot of money.
Is Eskom running country then?
Eskom's government entity. It's a government.
So it's government. It is government.
It's government. It's like NASA's government.
Yeah.
Eskom's government as well.
For the overthrow of the state.
That's right, the energy minister was accusing De Ruyter and his reform team of treason. One morning soon after that, De Ruyter was in his office and asked an assistant for a cup of coffee. At first, the coffee machine was said to be broken, and the Eskom boss's mug was briefly left beside it, unattended. Minutes later, a full cup was taken to De Ruyter.
I detected nothing. And then about 15, 20 minutes after this cup of coffee, I started feeling extremely nauseous. And the theory is that it was a mixture of cyanide and sodium arsenite, which is a rat poison.
He survived, but quit his job.
That's mental, isn't it? Like,
rat poison strychnine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's been like proper slide, you know what I mean? Like, coffee machine's not working, and then all of a sudden here's a cup of coffee.
Yeah, it's gonna make you a special coffee in the back.
It's like proper assassin stuff.
But I mean, think about it. Get a guy in to try figure out what's going on. Why is everything going so bad? Finds that it's just corruption left, right, and center, and then the government is trying to get rid of the guy because he figures out, oh, wait a minute, the same guy we put in to get rid of the corruption is figuring out it's us.
I'm going to stop sharing video there anyway. You've only got 10 minutes left, I think.
Yeah.
History, like, it
But
just,
you-
it just
but
goes
it's
on
the
just to talk. It just literally goes on to talk to another woman, and she's scared in case she gets poisoned.
Yeah, and he just keeps, Natasha keeps
Yeah.
on saying how it's, yeah, no, director is trying to overthrow the government.
But yeah, that's some serious corruption, mate.
It is. It is.
Mhm.
It is, isn't it? I mean, and like you said, it could be over here soon, Michael. You know.
Aye. Well.
Yeah.
Just because they didn't, like I said earlier, just because they didn't know, like, cartels and stuff like that, government's still as corrupt. You know what I mean?
Of course. Bit of a delay again on them cameras. Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for coming, Flatzoid. And I thought it was interesting, you know, to talk about situation where you live, and you know, everybody's getting it bad somewhere.
That's
Yeah,
right.
what I find interesting, this type of thing seems to be itching into everywhere now. You guys are
Yeah.
also going to start having problems.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm already seeing that coming. Yeah, just by what you were talking about earlier.
Listen, if it's true, our people have been saying we're coming into tribulation period. I mean, we've got some dark days ahead. Everybody, whether you believe in God or you don't believe in God, it's going to hit you the same, you know.
The truth's the truth, whether you believe it or not. You know?
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
But all I can say is rather be prepared than not prepared.
Yeah.
And no one should be scared or in fear.
Nope.
No.
There's no reason to.
And I don't fear whatever's coming whatsoever. I don't even worry about it, because you know we are going through whatever we are going through, no matter if we want it or not. You know, it's coming. It's a part of the game or the system or the script or how you want to put it.
It's what's been foretold.
Ooh, meant to be getting hurricane weather. When's up, bit?
We're meant to be getting an hurricane.
Hurricane weather up by you, Michael.
What?
So far, it hasn't been wrong either.
We
Yeah,
usually
it's
get
very windy.
We usually get the tail ends of hurricanes, don't we?
It is windy.
I didn't see anything on the weather plan for the. I didn't see this wind coming. You know, I only saw there was a little bit of rain coming. That was it. And now it's just been so windy for a whole day.
Would you say Hurricane Nigel?
The remnants of Hurricane
Oh, remnants of Hurricane Nigel.
Nigel. Who names
Windy in
it?
California too.
Usually it's the lady's name, isn't it? Hurricane Nigel.
I'm sorry, sir. I got a little bit of remnant for you.
In the wake of Hurricane
Remnant Nigel. It sounds like a cologne, doesn't it? Remnants of Nigel.
Remnants of two hurricanes, Nigel and Lee.
Nigel and Lee. Nigel Lee.
And the next one will be Alfred.
Then Bartholomew. Then Engelbert. Humperdinck.
So last thoughts, everybody.
Engelbert Humperdinck.
Last thoughts. Last thoughts. South Africa's rock bottom.
If the heat gets too bad over there, guys, you can always come live with me.
Wow. I can deal with it.
Just, you know, like when people see Flatzoid when he's messing about with his generator and it runs out of petrol and he's messing about streaming and then he's not streaming and all of a sudden things just cut off. Then now you know why. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was just going to say, I do know now. I'm learning more every day, too. Like I said, I'm new, kind of, but, I'll figure it out.
You get to know the schedule as well after a while.
I mean, us in England, compared to Flatzoid, we don't know that we've been born.
No.
You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is though that the schedule changes so rapidly. I mean, like we can never stream now, and it would say, okay, it's going off at 9 o'clock, and then the schedule can just change, and then it will just go off another time. You don't know.
I just usually wait from about 11 or so, and I start looking for you to say, hi, we're in room, and just go with that.
So yeah, guys, it was thanks for having me on.
Yeah, good
All
stream,
right,
man.
something different, you know.
Yeah, thanks for having me on too. I appreciate it.
That was nice.
You know, it gets a bit stale sometimes, doesn't it? This globe Earth, flat Earth business.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I said, people who just come to see Flatzoid who've not watched him before, and they hear all this load shedding and power not being, they're scratching their head like what's going off. So I thought it'd be interesting just for people to see what's actually going off.
People in chat thought it was interesting as well. So,
yeah, it's nice to have something different a bit.
Yeah.
Yo,
Ryan. Beth in the background.
Yeah, just peeping through the old FEC.
That's outside smoking.
You see that?
So it can't be that windy.
It's not a bed. It's not a bed. It's actually a pile of stuff. It's toys, and there's a toy box under there and some other stuff. But it's actually one of those blankets, those space blankets. Haha, funny.
I did foil hat, man.
It's
I'm
a
wanting to make
satellite.
one of those
Come on.
focuser things. I'm trying to make one of those things. Put on a fat satellite dish to make it into one of those heat cookers things. I want to test that out because I've already been able to melt a hole with one of these lenses that I took out of one of these old big screens. It's really interesting. I've burnt holes in rocks. It's like, what the hell? How did I do that? It's pretty interesting.
Wrap it around the rocket and go through the firmament.
Well, maybe we can cut a hole, laser a hole in the firmament and just climb out. I'm kidding.
Right,
Can
I'm
you do
gonna
that?
end the stream. You guys can
All right,
stop. I'm gonna end the stream. But anyway, thank you everybody for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. Something different, learn what's going off where Flatzoid comes from. But thank you so much for watching, and remember, Jesus is the truth.
Amen.